Hi, good morning, everyone. My name is Jasveer, and I'm from Cure India, which is a leading dental and medical travel platform based in New Delhi, NCR. So, Cure India has over the years assisted thousands of patients from more than 55 countries to avail affordable healthcare services in Indian hospitals and clinics. So, today we have Mr. Joseph with us, who has traveled all the way from Luxembourg, that is a kind of a unique country in Europe, in the sense that it has the highest per capita GDP, as well as it has the lowest population in the entire of EU, and it is also referred to as the cultural center of the European Union.
Correct.
So we would like to know a few things from Mr. Joseph, and know more about his journey. He traveled a week ago, so he has got a fair idea of how the things work here, how good the services were, and we would like to know a few things from him. Hi, Mr. Joseph.
Hello, Pastor. Good to see you.
Yeah. So I would start by asking you something about when you were deciding, to move out of your country. What were your options, and how did you finalize that India is going to be your destination for medical travel?
Well, this is an interesting question with an interesting answer because I believe that in most industrialized countries, a penile implant is a procedure that is optional, it's chosen by the patient, and isn't required for medical necessity. So I had been suffering from some minor, to begin with, minor erectile dysfunction issues around 1995, so about 30 years ago. They became progressively worse as the years went on. So about 5 years ago, the medication wasn't working as it had originally did. I was finding myself becoming more and more frustrated, more and more tripped to the urologist with questions, trying to find answers, and we were led to the idea of maybe we need to do something that's a little bit more invasive and a little bit more permanent, a little bit something that's going to have a little bit more of a encouraging effect. So we began to do some background research on penile implants, and we were looking at various countries to have the procedure done. The United States, South Africa, of course, our native land of Luxembourg. And the costs out of pocket are prohibitively expensive. And one day we just happened to put in a keyword into Google that was for one of the products that's available, one of the Boston Scientific medical devices. And we happened to see Cure India's website pop up on our screen. And so just out of simple curiosity, we did a little bit of investigation. We looked. We read some of the literature that was available online. We looked at some of the patient testimonies, and we looked at most importantly, the background and the profile of the surgeon who was responsible for the penile implant program here in India. So my wife and I spoke about it for a couple of days, and then we decided to reach out to Cure India. We sent an email, which was very quickly responded to. You were very pleased with the response time. It was very fast, it was very detailed, it was very caring, and it was written in a very genuine tone of voice. And so that's what led us to Cure India, and that is what eventually led us to having me make my trip to India to have the procedure done.
Oh, that was wonderful to know. Thanks for answering that. So after you had made the decision, I would want to know, how was your experience right from your airport transfers when you landed in India? Did you face any sort of a challenge in how to schedule the appointments, how to go about the hotels, and what the itinerary was? Everything explained to you? So we are asking you these questions to let our viewers understand that how easy or how difficult it is for somebody who has never traveled to India to get his quality healthcare services or any surgical procedure in India. So I would want you to, speak a bit about how do you think, how efficiently were the doctor consultations, and then was there any delay in terms of, you had to wait for your surgery?
I see.
Or everything was in order right from your airport pickup, and now today it has been maybe the 3 or the 4th day after your surgery, and maybe you're fit to travel back in 1 or 2 days.
So I would say that the probably the most difficult part of the entire trip was making the decision to actually pull the trigger, buy the airplane tickets, and make the appointments to come to India to have the procedure done. That was, in terms of logistics and difficulty, that was the main difficult decision that we had to make. We weren't exactly sure what to expect when we arrived in India. We weren't sure what to expect in terms of geography, weather, people, population. We didn't know because we had never been to India before. But I will say this: after our flight landed, it was very quick going through customs, picking up our luggage. Walking out of the airport exit, and through one of the gates, there was a representative from Cure India waiting for us with the sign with our names listed on the sign. So that was straightforward, and it could not have been easier. It was a very brief drive, maybe a 20-minute drive through the city of New Delhi to our hotel. And on the same day, we were taken to the medical center where we met with the surgeon. And I was given a battery of tests, which included a blood exam, an echocardiogram for my heart, some other basic tests just to prepare me and see if I was an appropriate candidate for surgery to avoid problems. This battery of tests, which would normally take 3 or 4 days to complete in Luxembourg, was done within 1 day, and the results were available the following day. So the speed and efficiency with which the pre-surgery checks were done was minimal. I actually had a blood test, it's a complete blood count, CBC, in hand by the next day. Then, unfortunately, we had scheduled our trip during elections, so we missed 1 day, which is unfortunate because the surgery would have been done the following day, but we had to wait an additional day for surgery just because of the elections that had taken place in New Delhi, which was okay. The following day, I was admitted into the hospital in the evening, and I was taken into the surgery room in the morning. The procedure lasted about an hour and 10 minutes. And I woke up in the recovery room, and I spent, I guess a day, maybe 2 days, 2 order days in the hospital for observation and recovery. And then met with the surgeon, and I was discharged from the hospital. So from the very beginning of the procedure to the very end, from pre-surgery to recovery, was very simple. It was very straightforward. It was extremely efficient. As I said, the battery of tests that were done took a minimal amount of time, and everybody has been very caring, very observant, and they're very helpful and very understanding along the way.
All right. Thanks a lot for all of those answers. So there is one important aspect that I want to discuss with you, that, India is already a medical tourism. A lot of countries are traveling to India for, all sorts of secondary and tertiary care. What message do you want to give to your fellow people back in your country or other countries in Europe or the rest of the world, where there are significant challenges in terms of healthcare pricing or affordable healthcare? What message do you want? Because they also have never been to India. Okay, so they also have a lot of apprehensions, like how would all of it, actually happen? What assurances, or from your experience, what do you want to say to all those patients who are struggling with, astronomical costs, healthcare costs in their countries? What assurances can you give to them that India is, one, safe, okay, providing quality healthcare, and there are people who, take care of all your requirements. You do not really have to fend for yourself here. Okay, there are always people who would assist you in every step. So how do you think that you should encourage people that, they can choose India as their, next medical travel destination?
Well, I would say this: I can only give people assurances based on what my personal experience is, and living in Luxembourg, we have access to all the European capitals. My wife and I have traveled extensively. We have been around the world, and I would say, number one, Delhi is no different than any other large city in the world. There's, a few million people who live here, so it's one of the larger cities. And I think that people's perceptions about cities and about countries and about people are more powerful than the actual truth. So we came here not knowing exactly what to expect, but from the very beginning, every person that we have had any kind of encounter with has been caring, kind, communicative, curious, and helpful. We needed some directions to try to find ourselves, to guide ourselves to a restaurant. We asked 2 people on the street, and then these 2 people became 6 people. Everybody wanted to help. So from that perspective, it was very encouraging. I would also say this. Why would I want to spend $30,000 on a procedure with one doctor in Luxembourg when I can spend almost half that with the same amount of care, the same amount of expertise, and the same procedure in India? It gives us also an opportunity to, once the procedure is over with and I'm in recovery mode, we can do a little bit of traveling. We would like to know India a little bit more, so we can travel to different places. I would say that the level of care that we received here, both from a professional perspective and a personal perspective, have both been eye-opening, surprising, and exceeded our expectations. We really didn't have any expectations. The fact is, we weren't sure what to expect, but it has been a very encouraging, very, very pleasant experience being here.
Thank you. So we wish you all the best for your healthy recovery and your trip back home very soon. And we wish you all the best, Jeff. Thank you.
If you are interested in treatment in India, please subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon to never miss a new video from us.